Hey everybody, welcome to the SMA Journey 51 vlog. Alright guys, in this week's video, I'm going to answer a question that a few of you have been sending me over the past couple of months. And the question revolves around, what do I do for a living? Yeah, it's a pretty good question. You know, we all have taxes we have to pay, we all have bills. So, like most people, I've got to work. Now, I'm on permanent disability because of my spinal muscular atrophy. I worked for ExxonMobil for a number of years, and I retired from them in 2005. And then in 2010, I retired from teaching because I also taught college for a little over 18 years. So due to my spinal muscular atrophy, I had to go on permanent disability. So I've been doing little odd jobs and everything, even though I've been on permanent disability. But, you know, little odd jobs don't necessarily pay the bills. So back in June of last year, I received an email from a gentleman by the name of Kevin Schaefer. And Kevin works for a company called BioNews Services. And BioNews Services is the parent company, and they've got a lot of different forms for rare diseases. And one of the forms that they have was spinal muscular atrophy, and it's called SMA News Today. So he wrote me an email telling me that he found my name on the internet because he read an article that somebody wrote that talked about the top vloggers that discussed spinal muscular atrophy. And my name was on that list. And along with my name, he gave my website. So Kevin went to the website, found the area where he could email me, and he did. So he asked me if I would be interested in doing some videos for SMA News Today, because they use YouTube just like I do. And so I contacted Kevin and spoke to him, and I decided that, you know, it would be a good opportunity for me to expand my reach on the internet. So I started doing some YouTube videos for them. And I did this for about a month, and then, you know, along with that, they asked me to start doing some podcasts. So I did that for a couple of months. And then I received an email probably the first part of July from one of the owners of the company. And he asked me, he said, hey, if you're ever interested in doing more for us, let me know. So I wrote him back and I said, sure, you know, call me, here's my phone number, and let's talk. So nothing else was really said about it until July the 30th of last year. And I received another email from the owner, and he said, look, I want to set up a conference call with you tomorrow, which would have been on the 31st. So in the back of my mind, I started thinking, okay, he may want me to do another video or two per month, or maybe a couple more podcasts. So he called me on the 31st of July, and it kind of threw me off guard, because instead of him asking me to do a couple of videos more per month or another couple of podcasts, he actually offered me a full-time position within the company as their forms director. Now, BioNews Services, like I said earlier, is the parent company, and they own a lot of different forms that discuss rare diseases. You know, they talk about multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, spinal muscular atrophy, pulmonary hypertension, pulmonary fibrosis. And so he was telling me about this position as forms director for BioNews Services. And he told me my responsibilities would be to manage these forms and to communicate with all of the moderators, those individuals that are responsible for welcoming new members and putting up topics for people to talk about, answering questions. So I would be doing all of the statistics for those to report back to the owners as to how their forms are doing. And we talked for quite a long time that day, and he discussed everything, told me what the salary would be, and you know, I thought to myself it would be a really good opportunity to not only expand my reach on the internet, but it would also give me a chance to learn about other rare diseases. Now, you know, when we talk about multiple sclerosis, or we talk about spinal muscular atrophy, even though you may not consider those rare diseases, they are diseases that really, while there's a lot of information out on the internet, there's not a lot of good information out on the internet. And so I started looking at their forums, and really they provide just a fantastic service. So I joined the company on August the 1st, and I worked as their forms director for probably 3 or 4 months. And then around the 1st of November, the owner sent me another message and said, hey, I want to talk to you about another opportunity. So we talked, and what they wanted me to do is to bring multimedia to these forums. Now, the SMA forum already had multimedia. We already did YouTube videos and podcasts and flash briefings. So what they wanted me to do is to bring multimedia to the other channels. So they created another position in the company, and I'm not only their forums director, I'm also their multimedia director. And my job is basically to ensure that all of the forums that they've got, which eventually will be a total of 9 forums, and each forum talks about a different disease. But I'm going to be bringing multimedia to those forums. So out on my website, if you want to just listen to what one of the podcasts sounds like, if you go to my website, on the home page, if you scan down, you'll see a flash briefing that we do for SMA News Today. And that's just an example of what I'm going to be doing for all of these other forums. Right now, like I said earlier, we talk about multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, spinal muscular atrophy, pulmonary hypertension, and pulmonary fibrosis. We just launched the cystic fibrosis forum last week, and we're in the middle of launching 3 other forums, which will be ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. We're going to be launching 2 others. You know, that's the bad part, is I'm trying to remember each and every one of them. We're also launching muscular dystrophy and also Friedreich's ataxia. So those are the 9 forums that we have, or that we will have shortly. So bringing multimedia to these forums is a monumental undertaking. It takes a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, not just on my part, but for those that work with me. So we're slowly doing this, and we're becoming more successful at it. It's a trial and error, which is fun because you get to learn. You know, I've learned so much about multimedia with regards to editing videos, putting together podcasts. You know, it's not just sitting in front of a camera and talking. You know, there's a lot of editing that goes on. There's a lot of dubbing of the video, you know, piecing everything together, putting music behind it. We've now got advertisers for the SMA forum. We've got a major sponsor, which is Avexis Pharmaceuticals. So we had to do their ad spots. We've got a young lady that does our voiceover work. And so, you know, it's a lot of fun. I'm really learning what it takes to do the multimedia behind these different aspects of the company. And, you know, I was really lucky because BioNews Services gave me the opportunity to not only work from home, because let's face it, you know, those of us with SMA, it can sometimes be pretty difficult to get out and drive somewhere, or to be driven somewhere, and, you know, it just makes it easier to work from home. And they gave me such a wonderful opportunity. And, you know, to say that I'm blessed to be able to work from home, and I'm blessed to be able to work for such a good company like BioNews Services, it would be an understatement for me to say that. God has really blessed me with the ability to work from home and to make enough money to pay my bills. So I'm extremely fortunate, and I thank God each and every day that I was given that opportunity. So that's really what I do for a living. And I also do my own personal YouTube channel, which you're watching now. And hopefully my reach on the internet is not only helping my channel, but it's also helping other channels like BioNews Services to produce a product that people can use and to understand further with regards to different diseases that they suffer from. So again, that's what I do for a living, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I wake up each and every day excited to go to work. You know, whenever I was teaching college, I used to ask my students, if you had an opportunity to actually go to work for a company that you thoroughly enjoy, there's an old saying that if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I truly enjoy what I do. It's a lot of fun. I work with some great people. It's a great company to work for. So, hey, I'm very thankful, and I hope that you have an opportunity in your life to be thankful for like I do. I feel blessed. So, you know, life is good right now. And I know that there's going to be bumps in the road. I know that there's going to be frustrations with this job, but it's nothing that I can't handle. And I hope you guys deal with your life and deal with your situations as the best that you can, because We've got some great treatments coming around the corner, and we all have a lot to look forward to. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope each and every one of you have had a fantastic week. I'm going to say this each and every time. Do something for yourself this upcoming week that's going to make you a better person. God bless you, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye. Ramu kanzi, ramu leke, ramu kole, ramu soso. Come to,